Hi, this is Mark with Bindus Manufacturing. Today we're going to be showing you the proper way to install the gasket material to the bottom of the AQUECOIL. Now this is important because this is what's going to create the seal between the AQUECOIL unit and the air handler unit. It's going to give it a more professional appearance, as well as be able to allow you to remove and then reinstall the front access panel for air handlers where it goes over the top of the air handler. So this is a crucial step. Make sure you don't skip it. In the box with the AQUECOIL, you'll see a packet that has the supplemental instructions and the gasket itself, and it also has a small cutter with the unit, and we'll go into that later. So for now, go ahead and open the package and remove the gasket material. Now, when we apply this to the AQUECOIL, we're going to make sure that we do it along the inside lip of any extended edge areas. And this is key. Make sure it's along the inside lip, otherwise it's not going to seal properly or function properly. The gasket material is soft and self-adhesive, so begin by peeling off the backing on one edge, and we'll go ahead and start at the front of the unit. Go right to the edge, and make sure when you're applying it you do not stretch the material. It goes on nice and gentle. And once you have it perfectly aligned, that's when you're going to push it into place. But again, make sure you do not stretch the material tight. You want it on nice and loose. Once you get to the edge, you can either cut it with a straight razor, a pair of scissors, or if you don't have any of that and you're in the field, you can tear it. The tearing you have to be a little careful with, because you do want to make sure that when you put the next section on, there are no air gaps. So we have the first section on. We're going to go ahead and press it on. Now for the side. We have the flat edge here, and you're going to press that nice and tight into the section above it. So this way there is, again, no air gap. We're just going to lay this right along the edge. Continue to peel back the backing. And do not stretch the material. Once you get to the next, some units will be, the back will be similar to the sides. Some units will have this kick plate installed. If you have the kick plate, we're going to go along the inside edge, and you can cut it about a ½ inch in from that. Okay. Press it nice and tight against the previous piece, and then gently lay it across the surface. Without stretching the material. Last side. Press it in. Lay it down. Now when you get to the last section here, when you go to cut it, make sure you leave yourself a little bit of extra space so that you can press against the other side. Lay it down. To pull it back a little bit, press it in, and that's it. Now we'll go ahead and make sure it's all nice and sealed all around it. And it's ready now to be placed on top of the air handler. Now we have the gasket installed on the AQUECOIL itself. We're going to go ahead and get it placed on top of the air handler. The cutter tool is going to come into play when you have screws along the top of the air handler that create an air gap around the air gasket. And you'll be able to visually see that once you have it placed. If you do see air gaps. When you place the AQUECOIL on top of the air handler, you will press it down. The screws will make a small indent circle on the foam itself, and you will use the enclosed cutter to cut that circle out. Once you remove that little bit of that little circle of foam, once you put it back on the AQUECOIL, the foam will go ahead and sit completely around the screw, creating an airtight seal. We're always looking for the airtight seal. Now, when we go ahead and place the AQUECOIL on top of the air handler, we are going to match up the sides and the front of the units. AQUECOIL is designed to match the air handler's dimensions. So what you're looking for is a nice flush fit on both sides, flush fit on the front, and you're going to go ahead and match the access panel of the AQUECOIL to the access panel of the air handler. Any overhang will be off the back of the air handler if there is any on that particular AQUECOIL unit. Now in this case, the screws are not creating any air gaps, so you would not have to use the enclosed cutter. In the event that you do, we can demonstrate that for this video. And you may not be able to see it, but there are small indents around the foam, or in the foam, from where the screws are. So you would simply match up the cutter to where you see the indent of the screw, press, twist lightly, use a nice firm pressure, and simply remove this foam circle. So you'll have a nice little cutout that goes around the screw. Once you have that on any of the air gaps that you'll notice, go ahead and simply replace the AQUECOIL. Now also included with the AQUECOIL is a metal strap that we call the belly band, and normally you would wrap that around the back of the AQUECOIL so that half of the strap goes over each unit, and you would use the enclosed self-tapping screws to go ahead and to screw into both the AQUECOIL and the air handler, and that creates a mechanical fastening method for keeping the AQUECOIL and the air handler nice and tight against each other. Please note, in a horizontal application, that strap may or may not be enough to support the weight of the AQUECOIL once it's filled with water, so make sure you support it in the same way that the air handler itself is being supported in that horizontal application. So whether it be super struts, blocks, whatever it is, just make sure that you're supporting the AQUECOIL as well. And it's really as simple as that.